Hello my dear students. Today we will go for the current electricity class number 2. Second class of very important chapter so called the current electricity. Now in the last class we have read what is electric current, what is the types of electric current, that is steady current, varying current, and with a single formula we have discussed the last class. Current equal to charge upon time, this much. Okay, but what is actually current? As I have told you in the last class, current, some tells current kebe asiba. First question is current jaichi kware. So current, that means current we can say we can defining there is a directions of current, that is not a vector quantity. So kware jibani ki kware asibani, that is confined in the circuits itself. We will see the mechanism of flow of current in a metallic conductor. With this we will define a very important term called as the drift velocity, and due to drift, gunchiva, due to drift, the current is developed in the circuit. Again you see, due to drifting of electron, current will be developed in the circuit, and we want to relate current related to this drift velocity. That is a very important question this time. Now what happens generally in a metallic conductor, you see this mechanism of flow of current, under this we will define the drift velocity. Now inside any metallic conductor there are three types of materials we are considering: conductors, semiconductors and insulators. Conductors is certain types of materials in which there are free electrons at room temperature, because at room temperature the thermal energy excites the electrons to move or to free. That's why these electrons are free electron in a metallic conductor, but they are moving in different directions, and that is called as the random velocity. What velocity? Random velocity. That is certain speed, that is certain velocity. See, this is a vector, this is a vector. Be careful about these two terms now. The electrons are moving in a metallic conductor at room temperature due to thermal energy. They are excited, they are free to move. Whenever they are moving, they are having some speed, that's why they are having some kinetic energy. Question is, where does they get energy? They get energy from room temperature, from thermal energy. That's why this velocity is called as also the thermal velocity. This is also called as thermal velocity, or we can say random velocity due to thermal energy. And this velocity, remember, this velocity, first short question to remember, thermal velocity is approximately 10 to the power 5 meter per second. Will you ask me, how do you know this one? I have not learned this one. You have to learn. The speed is 10 to the power 5 meter per second, the very high speed. But due to this speed due to thermal energy, and in chemistry I think you have read 3 kT by m. M is the mass, T is the absolute temperature, K is the kinetic energy. We don't need here, but we get that speed with this formula. Temperature is 27 degrees Celsius, for example, room temperature, that comes to be 300 Kelvin. If you substitute all the values here, we will get this answer. So this I have given in materials, but here you can remember directly, the thermal energy is very high, 10 to the power 5 meter per second. But they are moving randomly here and there. You see, if this velocity is u1, if the velocity u2, u3, u4, say this is un, there are n number of particles, then we can say this random velocity means they are moving in all possible directions. u1 is the velocity of first, u2 is the velocity of second, plus u3 velocity of third, and there are nth particles. So un divided by n, that is the average velocity of an electron. Remember, this average velocity equals to 0. This is the equation 1. See, average velocity is 0. Means if one moves 5 meter per second towards in one direction, another may move 5 meter per second in another direction. That's why if you take the average of this one, that this plus this becomes 0. 3 meter east plus 3 meter west. 3 meter east plus 3 meter west can be 0, but 3 meter plus 3 meter cannot be 0. That's why this important conclusions you should remember. Average speed is 0, average velocity is 0, but average speed is not 0. Remember this very fundamental MCQ or very fundamental questions. That's why the conclusion is, in a metallic conductors, in one sentence you can remember, in a metallic conductor at room temperature, the electrons move here and there due to thermal energy, and the motion is totally random. Average velocity of an electron is 0. That's why there is no current. But whenever you apply a potential difference across the same conductors, then this side becomes this minus, this side becomes plus. So electron starts moving in this direction. Because this is minus, this is plus, so there exists an electric field vector in this direction from plus to minus. And this electron, if you consider the charge is a Q, and Q equals to, remember, Q equals to minus E, electron charge. And what happens if you apply a battery across this conductor? The electron which was moving in these directions earlier starts moving in this direction. See, initially it was in motion in this direction. See, I am moving in these directions. But now I am aligned to move in these directions. What I have to do? I have to take a turn. Again, electron is a spherical body, not like myself, cylindrical body. So it is moving in this direction. When electric field is applied, it takes a turn, we can say, that moves in this direction. So there is a haphazard motion inside a room. For an example, there are 50 boys. There is a haphazard motion, one moving in this direction, one moving in this direction, one moving in this directions. But whenever the electric field is applied, battery is applied, they move in one directions. So for alignment of this in direction, one will collide with other. Definitely, one will collide with the other. That means if first one will take, say, 1 second for collide with second one, the third one may not take 1 second to collide with the other. So one was moving in this manner, that will again move in this direction. So earlier one is moving in this direction, that will move in the same direction. That's why whenever one will be aligned in directions, one will strike another. Definitely, one electron will strike another. That's why it is developed. One will strike another, but one electron will move some distance freely. Definitely, after moving some distance freely, that is mean free path, I think you have read in chemistry, I think. So that move freely some distance, then collide with another one. And the collisions with molecules, not that they are at rest. At a rest nahi. It is also moving in these directions. All are aligned in one directions. That's why one may collide with another. But remember, collision time to collide with other electrons may not be same for same electrons. One may take longer time, one may take shorter time. And the time which electron moves freely before the collision is called as relaxation time. Relaxedly it will move like this. Relaxedly. Then it collides with other. Then it change again. Second one collides with third one. In this manner, before collision, it will move some distance freely, we can say. So that time is called as relaxation time, we can say. Relaxation time. I will change the symbol later on. So that average velocity is 0. Now when this electric field is applied, this electron experiences a force given by QE. I think you know this. F equal to QE. Now Q is equal to minus E, because Q is equal to minus E. The electric field and force are oppositely directed, and that implies that mass into acceleration is equal to minus E. You see, force is equal to mass into acceleration, mass of the electron, acceleration of the electron, minus E. This implies that acceleration, you can see acceleration is equal to minus E by m. I am writing here minus E by m. Now that means each electron acquires an acceleration opposite to electric field. Minus sign is here, opposite to electric field. Electric field is from plus to minus, but electron acceleration in opposite directions with this acceleration. Mass of the electron constant, charge of the electron constant, I have applied an uniform electric field, everything in the right hand side constant, that's why acceleration of the electron becomes uniform. Second question. The acceleration of the electron becomes uniform if the electric field is uniform. And in this electric field, since this electron accelerates with this acceleration and this acceleration is constant, we can apply equation of motion to get their final velocities. This is the initial velocity, this is the final velocity of the electron, v1, v2, v3, v4, v5, vn, like this. So this equation of motions you can apply, v is equal to u plus at. That's why for first electron you can write equation of motion can be adopted because acceleration is constant, equations of motion is applied for uniformly accelerated bodies. Now since acceleration is constant, you can apply v1 equals to u1 plus a t1. Time for free motion of all the electrons are not same. Relaxation time will be different, we can say. So here a t1 v2 equals to u plus a t2. Why 1 2 here? A remains constant, not a1 a2. Like this you can say vn, capital N I am writing, equals to un plus a tn. That's a final velocity is v1 plus v2, average final velocity I am calculating. Remember, average final velocity cannot be 0, be divided by n. Now here you can substitute v1, average final velocity of an electron I am calculating. Average velocity of an electron initially is 0, but finally I am calculating due to applications of this battery which creates an electric field. v1 is equal to u1 plus at1 plus u2 plus at2 plus dot dot un plus atn. Like this you can write whole divided by n. Then you can say u1, u2, u3, u4, you can separate it out. That's why this formula I can write here, this is n, and v I am calculating, that is u1 plus u2 vector plus dot 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 un whole divided by n. Okay, I am separating it out. You can see, plus a can be taken common, at1, at2, atn, a can be taken common, t1 plus t2 plus tn whole divided by n. Okay, at1, at2, atn whole divided by n. A common can be taken, t1 plus t2 plus tn by n. Over, I am removing this one. Now this first term is 0 according to this equation. You can see, according to this equation, initially average velocity was 0 plus a t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t3 4 plus t5 plus tn whole divided by n gives you what? Actually gives you what? It gives you the average relaxation time, we can say, average time of an electron between successive collision. Successive means these are one successive collision. Time, average time between successive collision of an electron. One electron moves like this, collides with this, again changes, collides with another one. That is called the time per successive collision. Average time per successive collision is called as relaxation time. कौन कहती रिलैक्सेशन टाइम, रिलैक्सली मूव करिवो, सो दैट ए and we write this symbol relaxation time. I am taking this symbol read as tau, we can say. So here that means I have taken t1 plus t2 plus, because for first electron the time for collisions is not equal to time for collisions for the second electron. That's why t1, t2, tn will be taken, the average time called the relaxation time, and you can write this like this. This implies that v equals to c, v equals to a minus a e by m. I am taking this acceleration, you see, I am taking this acceleration from this into tau. What is this velocity actually? This is the velocity with which the electron drifts. Electrons cannot move freely. See, I am moving, this is space here. I am moving freely. There are no other electrons. There are no other electrons. I am moving freely here and there. But whenever there are another electrons here, and these electrons can never move freely. That will move and strike this electron. That is so called the drift, gunchiba. Gunchi jiba, drift. That's why this velocity is called as the drift velocity. That's why. Now the conclusion is, see, about the discussions, main conclusion is, whenever at room temperature electrons moves here and there, they are moved randomly here and there. There is all possible velocities in all possible directions. So average velocity of an electron 0, average speed is not 0. But whenever a battery is applied, an electric field is set up, each electron is aligned in one direction, and it attains a velocity with which it drifts, called as drift velocity. And the drift velocity is given by the formula I am writing here. You should remember this formula. This is the first question in this chapter. Drift velocity equals to minus E by m into tau. Okay, this formula. That means each electron, conclusion is, each electron drifts in a direction opposite to electric field, because electron moves from minus to plus, opposite to electric field. And due to this drifting, current is developed in the circuit. We give the correct current directions from plus to minus. This is a conductor. I am plotting like this, so that we think that due to drifting, current is developed in the circuit. That's why our main aim in this, to find out a relation between current and drift velocity. This is very important concept. You can see this diagram. It will take some time. That's why I plotted it earlier. Now this is a conductor of length L. It is not a pipe. It is just a wire. I have taken an amplified form. Motta kari dekheichi. Just like this. It is a cylindrical wire. So area cross section A, total length is L. Length may be anything, but we have taken a section. Now battery is applied, so that electron inside it will drift from negative towards positive. Xy is the length of the conductor. Imagine that here, during the drifting of electrons are coming like this, and during here this is a section. I think you are able to follow what is a section. So you can say, see red stripe you can see. Electron moving, I am taking a section here. So this is the electron of charge E minus E, mass m, and crossing this section. A section they cross kala with velocity Vd, and in time t is arbitrary time, remember. In arbitrary time, it reaches at this point. You may ask me, why shouldn't take total length? Because I do not know what is the length it will cover. I have taken an arbitrary time. That's why I have taken a section. I am assuming that let an electron entering at this point, will move with drift velocity and reaches at the point in time t. I think you are able to follow this one. Whenever the battery of voltage or potential difference V is applied across this conductor XY of length L, then each electron inside the conductor, which was earlier in random motion, makes an alignment from negative towards positive with a velocity Vd, whose magnitude is given by this, but direction is opposite to electric field. Electric field is plus to minus, electron drifts from minus to plus. I think you can view this picture very clearly. You can see this picture. This is a metallic conductors I have taken. Area cross section, just like I have shown this area cross section like this. Area cross section, you can able to see this. You are never able to see this one. That's why I have taken in this case. Plane. And here I have taken the two section, imaginary one. That's why I have taken the section itself. Now, what happens, you see? Now let electron entering at this point at a section B moves with velocity V, reaches at C, section C in time t. माने गोटे इलेक्ट्रॉन जो इलेक्ट्रॉन बी पाखरे एंटर करूची, जो इलेक्ट्रॉन बहुत इलेक्ट्रॉन एंटर करछन्ती, जो इलेक्ट्रॉन बी रे एंटर करूची in t time, in t second, it reaches some distance. Let it reaches at this section C. That's why this length of this conductor must be velocity into time Because I think you know the very common formula, distance is equal to velocity into time. Distance is equal to velocity into time. It is a length of the conductor BC. So velocity into time is the simply distance. So this length is equal to velocity into time Vd into t. Okay. Now here I am removing this one. Now what is the volume of this region? This is a cylinder. Can you specify? No. I think you can tell what is the volume of this cylinder. Volume of cylinder, I think you know it is a cylinder. Just like pen is a cylinder, the cap is also a cylinder. A is the area of cross section, and I have taken a section, so we can say section, whose length I have taken VDT. And here, volume of the cylinder, I think you know this formula, area into height. I think it is very much controlled with the one. Area into height, area cross sections I have taken A, and generally wire is a circular cross section because it is cylindrical in shape. Any wire mark available with us, any wire, and area into height. Height of the cylinder is the length, that is height is Vd into T. Do you follow this one? The volume of this region, that means if you imagine that this is a total larger cylinder, I have taken a small portions, and this length I have taken velocity into time. That's why this is Vd I am taking drift. That's why I am giving the suffix. Otherwise only speed B is there. B into T. That is the length of the cylinder, or height. If I take this like this, it is the height of the cylinder. That is the length of the cylinder. Now volume of the cylinder will be area cross section into this length. This much I think you are clear very much. We will calculate now. Now what we will calculate actually? We will calculate current which is given by Q by T in terms of drift velocity, and current is equal to charge by time. Only you have to calculate total number of charge means electron. Total number of charge means electron. Remember, not the ions. Ion can never move inside a conductor. Ion can move in electrolyte, but ion can never move. Only charge you consider the electrons here. Now the total number of electron existing in this region you have to find out, because you know the formula. I think the very common formula you do remember, that is I Q by T Ne by T. This formula we have read in the last class. Also we have read in electrostatic, in the quantization of charge. Q is equal to Ne, a number of electrons, charge of each electron, fundamental charge. Now here you see, now Q by T, then Q equals to N into E. What is this N? N is the number of electrons existing within this region, because in time T, this number of electrons crosses this section. How to find out? Let N is number of electrons per unit volume, and this is a constant given with all materials. For copper, N, small n is different than iron. The N is different for copper. For gold, for silver, for different materials, this electron density means number of electrons per unit volume. So number of electrons per unit volume. So in volume region BC is length in this cylinder, in cylinder BC, in volume BC, number of electrons, you can apply the formula, number of electrons per unit volume into volume of this region. Number of electrons per unit volume of this metallic conductor into volume of that region. So number of electrons per unit volume, we have assumed that N, it is a constant for a material. Number into volume A V dt, this is the volume of this region A V dt. That's why capital N is this much, so that total charge will be Ne. I think you are able to follow this one. Ne, N, small n, A. This small n is the number of electrons per unit volume. Capital N is the total number of electrons in this region BC. Na V dt Q. That's why current equals to Q by T is equal to Na V dt by T, what? Q is equal to N E, A T E, N equal to this much, N A V dt, this suffix V D, you should confuse with this one, D is the suffix, V T E, and it is E, T cancels out, and we are getting a very nice formula to remember, and students are very much acquainted with this NAVD. NAVD, and this formula, I think it should be over your lips. Now I am getting a very important relation here. I current equals to NAVDE, and this clearly indicates that for a metallic conductor, N is constant, number of electrons per unit volume is constant. Number density we call it, electron density, electron numbers per unit volume of that material. Now A is the area cross section constant, this is constant, and charge of electron constant. I can say current, this is the conclusions of today's class. Current is directly proportional to drift velocity. More the drifting, not the more the motions, remember, more the drifting, gunchiba, more the drifting, more the current in the circuit itself. I think you will remember the conclusions for this one. The conclusion is, I am summarizing slightly. This diagram I think is very clear. So we are getting the conclusions, you see. First, I will conclude with the 5 sentences. You should remember all the sentence. I think you can get all the short questions. For long questions, this is the long questions. Define drift velocity. Derive an expression current in terms of drift velocity. These are the questions. First, so I think you can remember, you can never say that where is the current. Current is something else that is developed in the circuit. Current is not something else which comes and goes. Just like we can say flow of water. Flow of water actually is equivalent to the current flowing in the circuit, we will see later on. But in general, in a metallic conductor, at room temperature, the electrons moves here and there due to thermal energy. Remember first sentence? And that thermal velocity, which random velocity, is very high, 10 to the power 5 meter per second. Okay. Now, 3 things for today's class. Random velocity, I think you should know. Random velocity, otherwise called the thermal velocity, is 10 to the power 5 meter per second, very high velocity, but there is no current. But whenever a potential difference is applied across a conductor, the electron starts moving with a drift velocity which is opposite to the directions of electric field. If electric field is from plus to minus, the electron drifts from minus to plus. And this velocity, remember this one, is order of 10 to the power minus 4 meter per second. Data you should remember. The velocity with which it drifts is 10 to the power 4 meter per second. What is the meaning of equal to and of the order of? Of the order of. Many students ask, what is the of the order of? See, we are calculating in general, not calculating for iron, not calculating for copper, not for silver, not for gold, not for any specific materials. We are taking generalized one for any material. So, this is of the order of 10 to the power minus 4 means for which 1 into this, for which 2 into this, for which 2.1 into this, but power must be that. Just like what is the height of a man? What is the order of height of a man? 10 to the power 0 meter, 10 to the power 1 meter, 2 meter, we write 10 to the power 0 meter. Order. 3 feet 3 inches, 1 meter is 3 feet 3 inches. 1 man is not 3 feet 3 inches. Then comes 10 to the power 0, 10 to the power 1. 10 to the power 1 means 10 meter. Is very high. It cannot be order. So this is order is 10 to the power minus 14 second, and each electron inside this electron moves and strikes with another electron, and that relaxation time, what time? Relaxation time. You should remember this. It is also order of 10 to the power minus 14 second, minus 14. I have given also in tabular form, minus 14 second. And due to this drifting of the electron inside a metallic conductor, current is developed in the circuit. Current, and this current is related to this drift velocity according to this formula. Okay. This is important conclusions because in school you have read the Ohm's law. It is immaterial. We don't bother about this. Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So what is that law? How can you get it? Here we will derive that one. That is a long question also. Derivations is very simple. See, in the next class what we have to do, we will take this dead velocity. You should take down the notes and read it. Dead velocity, and that is the magnitude of the dead velocity, magnitude, BD. You can take the magnitude minus, this becomes plus magnitude, take it and substitute here. And you will get, if you take this and substitute here, in the next class, we will get a very important law, I equal to V by R, so called the Ohm's law. Then we can define what is R. R is so called the resistance of the conductors. Then there is a continuity of the chapter to end of this chapter, I think, with resistance. With this, we can have some derivations. Derivations are some, these are long questions for this time. First long question, these are the short questions, and the last class also I have given some short numericals, and you should go chapter very details, part by part, so that I think at the last you can never get any hindrance to complete this one. Over. Thank you all. We will see in the next class in current electricity number 3. Thank you all.